All right, everybody, welcome back to another top buy, top sell video here in the Edge Finder. We're going to be going over our top buy and sell in just a moment. But first, I want to get to these tabs right here, our Smart Money Tracker and Retail Sentiment tab, which if you're familiar with the Edge Finder, you're probably familiar with these two tabs. But we have a brand new feature right here, our Risk On, Risk Off gauge. And this is a super awesome feature that we just released today. It is just gone live. It's a free update for all Edge Finder users. Remember, if you have the Edge Finder, all updates and all changes come absolutely free of charge. Once you purchase the Edge Finder, you have it for life and you never have to pay for any updates or anything like that. So this is a brand new feature that shows a daily, a weekly, and a monthly gauge for risk on and risk off assets. So basically we have this little list right down here. And so risk on pairs or assets, the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, and the pound are not necessarily safe haven currencies. And as things like stocks do better, then oftentimes these pairs look, or these assets look bullish here. But if you're looking for safe haven currencies or times when the stock market is not doing so well, oftentimes these are the bullish assets here. And we also have a written explanation of how we score things, so we can see like -2 to +2 comes out as a neutral score. -3 and 4 is risk off, is in that risk off, or +3, +4 is in that risk on section here. Again, meaning that typically speaking, these pairs or these pairs might make for some good trades. And then -5, -6 is heavy risk off, and +5, +6 is heavy risk on. So what we're doing is every day, this daily one is tracking each of these assets here. We have things like US 10Y, which is bonds, and we have the DXY, which is the dollar, the S&P 500, gold here, the yen. So all of these different assets, and we are tracking to see how are they performing on the day. Are they up or down on the day? And then it's getting scored. And based on that score, if it hits into this red or blue section here, then you might want to look at risk on or risk off currencies. Again, these here and these here, if it is in that red or blue section, depending on which ones it's in, for some potential trade opportunities. And then of course, as that daily score gets logged, it's keeping up with the weekly score so that we can see a 7-day kind of moving average. And then of course monthly as well. Each day that it goes on, it's going to continue to add scores into the monthly section so that we can keep up with it. And we actually have our is it up or down on the week here and the month as well, along with its running monthly scores, so you can see how we're ending up at each of these scores here. So really cool feature. So for example, monthly we are actually in a +3, which gives us a risk on and just a slight risk on bias, meaning that if you had taken trades with the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, or Canadian dollar, or the pound, there may have been some potential trade opportunities that would be profitable for those currencies so far this month. But yep, so brand new feature here. Hope you guys enjoy it and get a lot of use out of it. We're excited, especially about this daily one here, because this could be a really good option for day traders to see if it's in this red or if it's in this blue, if they should go check out some of these currency pairs over here. But with that out of the way, let's take a look at the Smart Money Tracker.
Are you interested in our market scanning software, the Edge Finder? You can try it today for free. Click the link in the description and fill out the form letting us know you're interested in the software. A member from our team will contact you with trial access information. The Edge Finder has brand new features like price forecast and economic news. There has never been a better time to try out the software for yourself. Click the link in the description and try it out for free today.
Smart Money Tracker, of course, is our COT data or institutional trader data. We're going to see what the institutional traders are going long and short on, what their favorites are. And it looks like oil is their favorite on the long side at 80.68% long and 19.32% short. Swiss franc, on the other hand, is their favorite on the short side, 78.37% short and 21.63% long. If we want to take a look at something like the US dollar, we had some crazy US dollar news. NFP came out way better than expected. Way more jobs were created, and the unemployment rate actually dropped. But institutional traders right now, 64.74% long on the US dollar, 35.26% short. We can check out gold as well. Gold 72.59% long and at 27.41% short. All right, and we also have, in case you want to pause the video, screenshot this, take a look. Here are our total long contracts open for each of these assets, the total short contracts open for all of these assets, the changes long since our last update, the changes short since our last update, and of course the percentage long and short here, so you can get a full look at everything, get those percentages in case you are interested. But we also do have it listed from most bearish to most bullish right here. So quick look at COT data, seeing what our smart money traders are up to. Let's take a look at retail sentiment also. I'm curious to see what our top our most long and most short currency pairs are. It looks like CAD CHF from retail traders is the most long at the moment, 93% long, 7% short, and Euro GBP is our most shorted pair from retail traders, 93% short and 7% long. Let's clean this up a little bit. I'm going to do major currency pairs only, just so that we can get a look at our US dollar pairs. So AUD USD is our most long US dollar pair, 70% long, 30% short, and USD JPY is our most shorted US pair, 59% short, 41% long. I should say major US pair. We do have USD ZAR listed in the Edge Finder as well. We just don't have it listed as a major pair because it's not as commonly traded as these other assets here, like the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, pound, euro, Canadian dollar, and the yen. But we do have it listed. In fact, we're going to take a look at it in just a second here. Minor currency pairs. So let's see, USD ZAR, there it is right there. It's actually our second most shorted asset out of our minor currency pairs, 90% short, 10% long. Euro GBP is our most shorted minor currency pair from retail traders, 93% short, 7% long, and CAD CHF is our most long currency pair, 93% long here, 7% short. So quick look at smart money, quick look at retail, and our brand new risk on, risk off gauge. Let's go back into the watch list and check out our buy and sell biases. So I'm going to remove the neutrals, and here are all of our buys and sells, but I'm also going to remove indices and commodities. I'll give you a second to take a look at some of these numbers. You can pause the video. These are all of our buys and sells that we currently have listed, but I want to focus on currency pairs only, so I'm going to remove indices and commodities. And that gives us this list here, and it's making it pretty easy on us because we have one strong buy, so USD ZAR, like I just mentioned, not a major currency pair, but still a US dollar pair that we can take a look at. This is our most strong buy with a score of +7. In GBP, NZD is our strongest sell with a score of -7. So it looks like those are the two that we're going to take a look at. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. If we go to, sorry, not major currency pairs, minor currency pairs, USD ZAR all the way down here at the bottom, strong buy, score of +7. Got a lot of interesting stuff that we can take a look at here, so let's just jump right into it. COT data is a score of +1. Retail sentiment is also a score of +1. We can take a look at those numbers right over here. So institutional traders, again, we already looked at this US dollar number. Institutional traders 64.74% long and 35.26% short on the US dollar, but ZAR, or the South African rand, 56.36% long and 43.64% short. So very, very slight favoritism long on the South African rand, although we don't really consider something to be long or short bias until it crosses over this 60% threshold here. It needs to be clear and obvious that it's trending one direction or the other, and since this is just a little over 50-50 and it's not quite to that 60% mark, we are not technically scoring it long or short. This is kind of staying neutral, which is why this only has a +1 score here. In fact, if this was over 60% favored long from institutional traders, this score would be 0 because they would both be favored long. However, if this was over 60% favored short here, this would be a +2 score because institutional traders agree, go long on the dollar, go short on the rand. So that is how we score that. Retail sentiment, on the other hand, 90% short, 10% long here. That's giving us a score of +1 there, because typically when retail goes short, we go long and vice versa. Seasonality here is a score of +1, and we can see that we are right above that neutral line right there in our last 10-year average. price points, meaning that over the last 10 years, historically speaking, USD ZAR has performed just a little bit bullishly in the month of February. So throughout the month, typically speaking, it does finish a little bit better than it came in at. Again, that's when we're taking a look at our last 10-year averages. And so far, it seems to be the case here as well. We are up 2.36%. Let's see, our trend reading is a +2, and we can see right here that we made a really strong upward move from yesterday to today. It had been making more moves to the upside. We can see all the way back to January 26th, just continued to move up, and up. And then on February 1st, we shot back down, but we have come up a little bit since then. So strong trend reading there. Lastly, fundamentals, GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, scores of +1, interest rates is a score of -1. We can get into those numbers right over here. So South African GDP growth 1.6% compared to US 2.9%. South Africa's inflation 7.2 compared to 6.5 for the US. South Africa's unemployment nearly 33% compared to 3.4. We just got these new numbers this week, 3.4 unemployment for the US dollar. That was really good seeing it come down. And then lastly, interest rates, 7.25% interest rates in South Africa compared to 4.75% interest rates. Those are also new numbers from this week, Wednesday's FOMC event. All right, so quick breakdown of our strong buy USD ZAR. Historically speaking, it typically performs well in this month. Institutional traders agree to go long on the US dollar. Retail traders are shorting, and again, typically when they go short, we go long. Our trend reading is showing a nice trend, lots of upward moves here. One bad day, but then shot back up again so far today. And fundamentally speaking, the United States dollar is looking better fundamentally, more bullish fundamentally than the South African rand. So looking like a decent buy here. Let's check out GBP NZD was our other pair we were going to take a look at. Strong sell, score of -7. There we go. Like I just said, score of -7. COT data also a score of -1, as well as retail sentiment, a score of -1 here. Let's take a look at those numbers. So the pound currently favored short, 62.81% short, 37.19% long, and the New Zealand dollar 55.98% long, 44.02% short. So same thing here that we were having with USD ZAR. One is clearly favored. So the pound is clearly favored short, over 60%. So institutional traders leading on the short side here. But for the New Zealand dollar, we're still sitting pretty close to 50-50. Hasn't crossed that 60% threshold here, which is why we aren't giving it a -2 score. If this was favored long here, then institutional traders would be in agreement, short pound, go long New Zealand dollar, and this would get a -2 score here. But we do have retail traders going 66% long, 34% short, so that's giving us our -1 score here. Retail sentiment is a score of +1, our one lone little blue box right here. And we can see that in the month of February, again, we're sitting above that 0 or neutral line right there, meaning that over the last 10 years in the month of February, historically speaking, this pair does perform a little bit better. So we'll see if this pair continues to be a strong sell and continues to make moves to the downside, then it may not be following in suit with our last 10-year averages. Trend reading is a score of -2, and we can see that is pretty clear and obvious to see right here. Ever since January 26th, we've pretty much just been making nothing but moves to the downside. And in fact, look at that huge drop just over the last 3 days, February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Huge spike to the downside for GBP NZD. Let's look at the fundamentals. GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates, all scores of -1. We can get into those numbers right here. UK GDP growth -0.3% compared to 2% for New Zealand. GBP inflation 10.5% compared to 7.2 in New Zealand. UK's unemployment 3.7% compared to 3.4 in New Zealand. And lastly, GBP interest rates 4% compared to 4.25% in New Zealand. So New Zealand beating out the pound in all 4 of these metrics here, fundamentally speaking. Trend reading, I mean, just look at how far that thing has dropped, especially over the last 3 days. So trend reading definitely continuing to show a continuous downward trend. Retail traders going long, and again, typically speaking, when retail goes long, we go short. And institutional traders almost in complete agreement here that we are shorting the pound and going long on the New Zealand dollar. So my strong sell, score of -7 certainly looks to be the case there. All right, so there we go. We checked out our top buy and top sell, as well as what smart money's doing, what the retail traders are doing, and our brand new risk on, risk off gauge. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want the Edge Finder for yourself, you can find it in the link down in the description below, and use code A1YT at checkout when you are purchasing the Edge Finder to get a discount on the actual trading software. Again, you can use code A1YT for a discount on the Edge Finder at checkout.
Make sure you guys check out the links in the description if you need broker recommendations, access to our free Discord, or want to chat with us on Telegram. If you're interested in our trading software, the Edge Finder, you can find that in the description as well. Thanks for watching.